This could be insane for the GPU market. It looks like China have finally developed their first homegrown GPU that can compete on some levels with Nvidia alternatives. Now, I have to say at the top of this video, the caveat is very strong here. This card, which I'm about to show you, the performance is nowhere near as good as the Nvidia alternative. Also, it is nowhere near in price. It is more expensive. But the main takeaway here is China is starting to develop its own internal homegrown GPUs. And this could lead to an effect that we've seen with electric cars, with solar panels and other technologies that China have been pushing forward. You could say with drone technology as well, and 3D printers and stuff like that. But I think EVs are probably the best example. Large companies get funded by the government and they fight internally in the Chinese market, developing their own cars. And eventually the market decides which ones go forward and then they go onto a global scale. It looks like we're starting to see that with GPUs. Now, it is interesting as well to talk about RAM because there is Chinese manufacturers with DRAM, and we are going to cover that in this video. And remember, prices of GPUs, prices of CPUs, prices of memory, storage, everything is going through the roof because of the AI build-out demand. And also, you've got to remember, Nvidia are no longer reporting their consumer GPU sales in their earnings. They're that insignificant to Nvidia. They literally could not care because they want to sell their AI-specific products, which use a lot of the same components as their consumer GPU. So obviously, they don't really care about reporting that. And like I said, it's so low in their priority. And we know that they're not releasing any new cards this year, and that will probably extend into future years as well, because simply they are making hundreds of billions of dollars on AI data center build out. Okay, enough of the intro, but I did want to make it very clear that what I'm about to show you is not some sort of amazing thing which is super cheap and it's like this amazing Temu GPU thing you're going to be able to buy for $100 and it's incredible performance. It's not, but it's a start. Okay, this is the swanky video. I'm going to let this run in the background. I'm going to take some details here though off of Digital Foundry because they've got a bit of a recap. So, testing by the Chinese channel Chow Wanky, I think that's how you say it. Again, if I get things wrong, I do apologize. This GPU is called the Lizwan GPU, and it is trailing behind the Arc B580, I believe that's an Intel one, at the RTX 3060, obviously Nvidia, and the RX 6600 XT from AMD. I nearly said ATI. I'm that old. Break out the Radeons, let's go. It says that it's trailing by a huge margin to those cards, but it can at least run a selection of modern games at somewhat playable frame rates. The 7G100 turns in a 71 FPS average in Shadow of the Tomb Raider at 1080p versus 159 for the RX 6600 XT. Other titles are less competitive, with the 7G100 only managing 48 FPS average in Forza Horizon 5 with a punishing 18 FPS 1% low versus 228 FPS average and a low of 189 FPS for the second worst performing RTX 4060. Forza Horizon 6 blocks the GPU entirely with an error screen on boot, so it's certainly a spectrum when it comes to performance. Okay, so how much is this card, right? If you don't fully understand what I've just read off from Digital Foundry, I'll try and recap it, but basically this is a card that is, the performance isn't that great, but the fact it can run some of these games is a notable sort of milestone in Chinese internal GPU production and development. And also, it's got to be said, it's very difficult to produce drivers for these cards. It's very difficult to get them to work on different operating systems. There's a lot that goes into this. So they've got to really rapidly try and catch up to the likes of Nvidia and AMD to even get dream of getting on their level. But what makes this interesting, like I said, is the fact that it's the first time we've seen a semi-competitive card. But like I said, there's going to be a ton of issues with this. You could have things like export restrictions. The US do this specifically with electric cars. They're not available in the US if they're Chinese. And so there's all kinds of things like that which will go on. And again, you could say security concerns, right? Do you want a CCP driver set installed on your PC? But then you could argue you've already got Google and Nvidia, so like they've all got our data anyway, so who knows, right? But what I want to show you here is the price, right? So this community note is actually quite good over on Twitter. So it costs 3,299 RMB, which is the Chinese currency, which is actually 485 USD. And the Nvidia 4060, which is what this is trying to compete with, and remember, the Nvidia 4060 is miles faster anyway, has got a retail price of around 299. In the UK, this is like 300 quid plus, but it's still miles cheaper than this Chinese GPU. And again, remember, the issue will be driver compatibility, game compatibility. This is going to suffer in that regard. But if China can get that right, then maybe we could start seeing a world where we do get cheaper GPUs and better performance. And let's be real here, the likes of Nvidia and even probably AMD are going to move in this direction, are moving away from consumer GPUs because they're after that massive honeypot, that massive pot of gold, which is from the hyperscalers wanting to buy AI specific chips, and they want to service that rather than give us gaming GPUs. And again, it's not just PCs, right? This disseminates out to everything. It's handheld consoles, it's mobile phones, it's absolutely everything. But yeah, this is not as great as I think some places are putting this out as like, wow, this is amazing, this is the future. But I think it is something to be aware of, that China is starting to build its own GPUs, which is interesting. So the big takeaway will be, can they actually drill down and do a similar thing as what they did with their EV market, where there's a bunch of manufacturers that are all competing for an internal market? Eventually the product gets good enough that it goes international. Maybe we'll see that, I don't know. But like I said, if that does happen, which it might happen because China is chasing semiconductors in a big way. Remember, they don't have access to the latest lithography, I think it's ultraviolet or ultra high wavelength, whatever the hell it is. Basically the latest machines from ASML, which are used to basically print the chips onto silicon. Again, I'm not going to get overly technical because I'm an idiot myself. But China doesn't have access to those machines, so it can't actually produce the highest end chips internally. So they're trying to find different ways of doing it, and maybe they will. Maybe this GPU path they're going on is the start of that kind of process. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch. But as I said, there will be export restrictions placed on this stuff to markets like North America. Europe's probably a little bit more open to this. So if you're in Europe, maybe you will start seeing Chinese GPUs at some point. North America, maybe not so much so, but it might actually make the likes of Nvidia and AMD start servicing the consumer market again, which would be good for us. Okay, let's talk about RAM, because it isn't just about GPUs, it's about RAM as well. So again, this is another market which is open for somebody to come and enter and start servicing at an acceptable price range, right? Now, the demand for memory is going through the roof. So loads of memory is required. So it would go to sort of reason that if tons of memory can be made, then it should get cheaper the more of it gets made, right? So that's a very simplistic way of looking at it. It's the way I'd like to look at it. But we do know companies like Micron have completely cancelled their consumer brands like Crucial. They don't make that anymore, so you cannot buy that memory for your PC. They just make high bandwidth memory for AI applications because it makes them tons of money. This company, I've covered them before a few months ago. So CXMT is a Chinese memory manufacturer, and this article on Tom's Hardware is actually pretty good. So they're saying Chinese memory maker CXMT enters mainstream consumer memory with Corsair Vengeance DDR5 kit. Chinese-made DRAM emerges as an antidote for crushing shortages. Now, I've got this memory in my PC, but I don't have the Chinese chips in it, obviously. I think, I don't know who supplied, I think it may have been SK Hynix supplied these in the past, I believe. Well, it says there actually, look, in massive letters, Micron or Samsung or SK Hynix. So basically all the main manufacturers used to supply them, but they're struggling. Now, Nvidia have actually come out and said they secured all of their memory requirements before the prices increased and before the demand got constrained. Companies like Corsair obviously were struggling to secure that supply of memory chips. Now, this is all debatable. It could be the price was getting too much, so they couldn't secure them anyway. They need to find alternate manufacturers. All the alternate manufacturers are going to AI applications. All the big three you can see on the screen there. So it's like, what is left? So it looks like CXMT might actually be bridging this gap. And the article goes on to say, anyway, in late 2024, China-based Shangjing Memory Technologies began producing DDR5 modules aimed at the consumer market. Since then, the company has even laid out a roadmap that currently puts its max DDR5 capabilities at 8,000 MTS across 16 gigabit and 24 gigabit densities. Fast forward to today, and we're finally seeing Chinese DRAM in mainstream products. More specifically, a Corsair Vengeance DDR5 16 gig stick purchased in China by the user WXNOD, running at 6,000 MTS with CL36 speeds or CL36 speeds. So you can see they are starting to produce this stuff, and there is definitely a market for this because these memory manufacturers need it. They can't get this stuff from, the usual three. They're going to have to go elsewhere. So again, like I think this is how can I recap this? Like, I think I don't want to get too technical and start reading off all these statistics with cards and stuff like that. But I think it's like we're in a world where this takes me back to when I first started like kind of addressing these videos, these topics in the videos, where I was like, everything's going to get massively more expensive, and we know the likes of Nvidia want to move to terminal-based cloud computing. We know Amazon want you to do that as well. They want you to rent compute off them. That's the future they want, and that ain't a future I want. That shouldn't be a future you want either, because you'll lose control of your hardware. You lose control ultimately of what you can do with that hardware, which is terrible, and that's not great for freedom, and we shouldn't have that. But it looks like there may be a bit of a shining beacon here, unless you're going to stump up the massively inflated prices for memory, storage, GPUs, CPUs, etc. You are maybe, if you can hang on for a few years, going to see the rise of cheaper Chinese alternatives. And again, to bang on about the EV markets, if you look at EV cars, I know I'm in the UK. If you guys are in the UK watching this video, you will notice there is a hell of a lot of Chinese electric cars on the road now. What's that one that sort of looks like a Range Rover? It's a Jackwoo or something like that. But you see tons of them driving around. And the reason is they're cheap and they're decent. So people will buy them. And what about the other alternatives from, maybe French manufacturers and things like that? You don't see them. Oh, okay, you still see them quite a lot. But you're starting to see more of the Chinese cars coming online because they've had this internal race to try and make their systems better internally. And then they go out to the wider market. And can you argue with them? Well, they seem to be doing quite well in the UK, the cars do. So maybe this could extend to GPUs and it could extend to memory modules in the future. And maybe China will just start producing its own complete DDR5 sticks and there won't be intermediaries like Corsair and other companies actually buying the components. We might just see loads of this stuff available and then things become cheaper again. I don't know. One thing I will say as well, just to recap the video, is to talk about AI a little bit. When you, maybe not recap the video, but just end the video, AI, the Western models are frontier models that run in the cloud predominantly, and well, they all run in the cloud, and they take a ton of compute. The Chinese models are generally open source models. Yeah, they still have massive models running in the cloud, don't get me wrong, but they've got a lot of open source models, and they are massively ahead in terms of cost per token with these open source models, so they're much cheaper to run than frontier models from the West. But also they're open. You can get them and do what you like with them. Yes, there's security issues and whatever, but you can get these things and do whatever you like with them. That's a distinct difference with the Chinese approach compared to the Western approach. Now, maybe that could apply as well to things like memory, things like GPUs, and we start to see them flooding the market with powerful hardware that's very cheap, similar to what they've done with EVs and solar panels and all of that kind of stuff. So I think this is a very interesting topic, but we could be going into a world where there's going to be more than just the likes of Nvidia and AMD and Intel, although the Intel cards maybe not the best, but Intel cards generally have problems with their drivers, but they're not totally trash. They're much better than they used to be. But obviously Nvidia and AMD are the market leaders for PC-based and console-based graphics GPU supplies as well. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I think the big question is, would you trust putting a full-blown piece of Chinese hardware in your PC and downloading a driver set and then going from there? It's interesting, isn't it? Like, imagine if I said you could get like a 4090 or a 5090, but it was half the price and it was the same performance and it ran all the same games. Would you buy that? You probably would, right? I probably would, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? It's the cost of things. It's an interesting topic, though. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, guys. I'm in Stylosa, and it's absolutely massively hot in the UK. It's like 32 degrees. I'm going to go and literally melt away. Goodbye.